Hello, welcome back to Gasputio Tabletop Football and the Bristol Ball for the final tournament review as we go into the final match of the tournament itself. So let's have a look what's happened over the last three matches. We had stars of the show, Mangotsfield, lose to the Nags Head, lost 2-3 in a thrilling 5-goal match there. Nags Head clinching some points. Then we had Gasputio, home team, come up against Mangotsfield. I didn't really know how this one was going to go. In the end, it was a 1-1. A little bit dull, I suppose, but that's just the way it is. Bit surprising from Mangotsfield. They expected a bit more from them. And then, of course, last night we had Gasputio, home team, versus Bristol Rovers. Both teams needing a win there, but we'll get on to that in a moment. And in the end, Bristol Rovers clinched it. Very convincing performance by them. You don't tend to see Rovers do that well in these tournaments, but nonetheless, they pulled it out the bag last night with a 3-1 win as the away team at Gasputio Stadium. Now, where does that leave us on the table? So let's take a look down here. So as you can see, all the teams that have played the 4 matches now, they're done. They've played all their matches. There is 1 match left to go. And if we have a look at the fixture table, that is Nags Head playing his own team versus Gasputio. But does that match even matter? Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, no. Tournament is done. So Nags Head have 9 points, and there is no way that Gasputio, really the only team left to play, there's no way they can catch them. So the best we can see there is Gasputio take a second place spot. I suppose worst case scenario for Gasputio is if they lose and stay at third, and then you got the Nags Head will be on an absolutely stunning amount of points. That would be a full house, so a clear 4 out of 4 wins. But we'll just have to see what happens on the day with that. Let's take a bit of a review of the rest of the table, though. So Mangotsfield all done now. Second spot again. This is what they did in Gasputio League. The difference there, of course, is the top 2 went through to the cup final. So effectively, it levels the top 2 teams out, and then it can be anyone's game. And they won that. In this, they came second place as well. And a similar sort of, a result swinging. Gasputio League, they're a bit like this. Some wins, some draws, some losses. But they managed to creep their way into that second spot. But of course, there's no cup final in Bristol Ball. It is just a sort of a league-based, a table-based tournament. So that's their spot. Hopefully, they'll be able to stick there. I suppose that's what they'll be wishing for. They'll be wishing for a Nags Head win so that they can stay at second spot. Gasputio, now in the third spot, of course, their final match, as we've just discussed. If they win that, they could jump over Mangotsfield and take a second spot. Even if they get a draw, they've got matching goal difference at the minute of 0. So if they get a... Well, no, hang on a minute. If they get a draw, I suppose that'll be the same. So they'll stick in the third place, won't they? So they really need a win if they want the second spot. Then we've got Bristol Rovers here, down in 4th place. I mean, that's not great being in 4th. But all credit to them. They looked like they were dying in the depths. Looked like they were going to get nothing. Finally pulled 1 win out the bag and managed to add to their tally of 1 point so far, giving them a 4 points, taking them off the bottom where they were for quite some time. And that, of course, piggybacks or pushes down, call it what you will, our old friends Bristol City, who are right at the bottom. I mean, that's just the way it is. All I can say to any Bristol City fans watching, should have played better. Simple as that. Should have played better. You did have 1 win, but 3 losses. That's poor. Very poor by the City boys. That 1 win, of course, coming from Steve Toy, their knight in shining red armour. Did it for them on the day. Some would say he was a little bit lucky, but, fair play. He won, so that's the way it was. So that's the table. And the only real changes are going to be third or second place Possibly. Who knows? We'll just have to see. There's really no point in doing another review after the tournament is finished because, of course, you'll know that if Gas Buteo win, they'll be in the second spot. If they get a draw, I think we've established now they'll stay where they are. And if Nags Heads win, well, basically, if they win or get a draw, they've won. They've won anyway. So it doesn't matter really what they do. It's all about the second and third spots here. And they're the only ones that could change. All right, so that's that. Do stick around for the final match, even though it's largely pointless. I suppose it means something to Gas Buteo. We'll just have to see. And then we'll do a little sort of award ceremony after that to the Nags Head, who do seem to have run away with this tournament. And then we'll move on to something else entirely. Okay, anyway. Until next time, when I see you with a Nags Head versus Gas Buteo match, which is largely a bit of fun. Well, take it steady, stay safe, and up the gas.